Delicious. Alright, so this I'm actually going to do as a separate video just because it is such an oddball, and it's really not relevant to anyone. But you may still want to watch it for entertainment purposes. So this card right here, I tested remotely on a good friend of mine, one of my GPU dealers' test benches. This is an unofficially but fully released RTX 3080 Ti 20 gigabyte. And you'll notice a lot of really, really weird shit about this card. So you will notice that it's got NVLink fingers on it. Up at the top on the PCB, you'll notice it's triple 8 pins. And it's a Suprim, which is probably the top tier AIB available for any 30 series GPU. But what makes this really, really different is it's a 3080 Ti core, which means it should have a 384-bit bus and 12 gigs of RAM. But what this actually has is a 320-bit bus out of the regular 10 gig RTX 3080, and then they've doubled the RAM. So this has 20 gigabytes of GDDR6X, and it's really well binned. The core and the memory on this card are spectacular. So here are the hash rate results for that card. I tested pretty much everything. So I'm trying to get rid of the useless information, just show you the interesting stuff. So we have 20 gigabytes of Micron GDDR6. It's an MSI Suprim. Flux, it performs just like a 3080 basically. 10 gig 3080. Still impressive, but not, insane. There's just, the efficiency is coming basically from the card bin, not from the setup. Nexa really impressed me, actually. It did 151 megahash at 209. And the efficiency is kind of like a CMP 50HX on this card, I noticed, where in a couple of algorithms, the efficiency got better as we went up in core clock, which is normally the opposite for a 30 series. Typically, we'll find the best efficiencies at somewhere between 1210 and 1410. This, in this instance, had better efficiency at 1610 than it did at 1210. Like I said, the bin is also really, really good. The bin meaning the quality of the silicon on this particular card. It was able to take like 400 core offsets for undervolting on some of the other algorithms. So again, pretty good at Nexa. KawPow, I was actually very, very impressed. We were able to get 51.1 megahash at 282 watts. That is a lot of KawPow. When I opened up the card, it was actually running KawPow at 327 watts just as a power limit, but we were able to pull the core down all the way to 900 megahertz. I ran it at 950, but we were able to pull it down to 900 megahertz without losing any hash rate on KawPow. So that's a very juicy core. Alephium 2.6 gigahash at 156 watts. It's really, really good. 17 hash to watts our efficiency. Ironfish, 23.6 gigahash, 152 watts. Efficiency of 155 hashes per watt. Again, pretty good. Radiant, 1.395 gigahash at 127 watts. We have 10.98 for the efficiency there. Caspa, again, I tested even though it's really not relevant, but we did get over a gigahash on Caspa at 127 watts, which is just wild. Dynex, this is the most efficient NVIDIA GPU I think I've ever tested on Dynex. So it's hitting 0.35 efficiency, which is better than the 5700 XT. Kind of nuts. And doing almost 5 kilohash, but at 133 watts on the more efficient setting here. So I was really impressed there. I did run Ergo and ETC, just a single straight vanilla overclock. I will say they perform just like a 3080. However, I'm starting to learn if you put in dashboard overclocks like we always did for Ethereum and Ergo, and then you go back in with NVTool and you push an offset, which, let me show you. If you just push this command on top of dashboard overclocks, it will compound. And you can do the same thing with memory clock as well, but it's a little trickier because the dashboard will treat it as an offset and you would be trying to add an offset. So you'd have to lock the memory, and then the offset would apply on top of it. So anyway, I noticed that when you have a really well-binned card, you save a fair bit of power. I think we saved 10 or 20 watts by putting an offset in on there with no hash rate loss. So anyway, yeah, the 3080 Ti 20 gig, I just had to take the opportunity to test this because you say that to somebody that knows about GPUs and they're like, you mean 12 gig? Or do you mean the unreleased 3080 20 gig, which, back when these launched, there were SKUs floating all over the internet. But even though this has a serial number and a product ID and everything, it was never released. So I'm sure another reason why MSI and all the other board partners were thrilled with NVIDIA's behavior. But like I said, I just had to share these with you guys because that is a weird card.